Hey guys, today we're in the book of 1 Samuel chapter 26. We start off with coming back to the Zippaites. Now, if you remember a couple chapters ago, the Zippaites are the ones who told Saul where David was at. Well, now they come back to Saul to say, hey, we know where David's at again. And so Saul gets out 3,000 soldiers and says, let's go get David. Well, David sees them coming. He knows that they're there, so he sends out some spies, keeps an eye on them, and finds out where they're camping. And so him and another guy would sneak into the camp, and they have Saul sleeping right there among all the other soldiers. They sneak in, and the soldier that goes with him says, man, let me shish kebab him to the ground, right? Let me spear his head to the ground. And David says, no, that's not what the Lord wants. That's not what God is telling me to do. And so he tells them to take Saul's spear and take Saul's jug of water. And so they take that, they sneak back out, and then they go to the mountaintop. And they cry out, hey, 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 everybody wake up. Everybody comes to. And David says, hey, all of you guys should be killed because you did not protect your king. And they're talking about, what are you talking about? Saul's alive. And he says, look what I have, right? He has the spear and he has the water jug, showing them that they were all the way next to the king. And once again, David, much like he did a couple chapters ago, just cries out to King Saul, what have I done that you would hunt me? I have not sinned against you. I have not done anything. Even cries in verse 19, he cries out, you're making me want to go and serve other gods. Doesn't mean that Saul wants to serve other gods. It means or doesn't mean that David wants to serve other gods, but it means that David can't go worship God at the tabernacle with the Israelites. He's on the run. And so he's living in and amongst these Canaanites and these Philistines and all of this, and he can't come back home to the tabernacle, right? And so that's what it means. Saul said, I have sinned. But remember, the last time he said this, we saw emotion. He cried out, and we see emotion. But here we just see some words, right? I have sinned. And basically, David says, the Lord rewards every man with his righteousness and his faithfulness. David says, let the Lord do what he's going to do. If I am right, let him give me righteousness. If I am wrong, let him judge. The same for Saul, right? And we see verse 29, it says, behold, as your life was precious this day in my sight, so may my life be precious in the sight of the Lord. He said, basically saying, I could have killed you, Saul, but I didn't. I gave you mercy and grace. And so I pray that the Lord would give me mercy and grace for doing the right thing. And Saul goes back to his place and David went on his way. You just can really see the heart of David here, right? Where now this is the third time that he could have killed Saul, that the men, his friends, his comrades, right, around him are saying, kill him, but he's the true leader. He's not leaning in and listening to his friends. He's not doing this, even though he could, and even though it's probably right if he did this. He was listening to the Lord. He was following the Lord's direction, and he was the leader among his friends, his comrades, that would help them to see that God's way is the right way. And so it just gives us a great point on friendship, on leadership, that even though God may give us an opportunity to do something, it might not be the opportunity that the Lord wants us to take. Does that make sense? That the Lord put David right next to Saul twice. And all of David's friends said, hey, now's the time to kill him. This is what the Lord has wants you to do. But because David had the relationship with the Lord, he said, this is not what the Lord wants to do. The Lord does not want me to hurt. So the opportunity was there, but because he was dialed in and had a relationship with the Lord, he could follow what the Lord wanted and not just take his earthly emotion and what his friends said as an opportunity. Hope that makes a little bit more sense, and we will see you tomorrow in chapter 27. God bless.